tradition states that you have to give somebody their flowers without holding back. Now, let me see where I can start. We just got news that she has been nominated for the Frima Awards. Tuanze hapo. She has a collection of hits. On Boomplay, she has got over 11 million streams. She'll confirm this. You can find her on all social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram. She loves Instagram. NADIA_MUKAMI. YouTube, NADIA MUKAMI, and she'll correct me if I'm wrong. She currently has 401,000 subscribers on YouTube. Get to know her. What else can I say? She has been, let me put it this way, she's got a list of songs. Her awards: winner, Pulse Music Video Awards, Radio Love, Female Video of the Year 2019. Nominee, Hip People Awards, Radio Love, Best Kenyan Act. Nominee, MTV Africa Music Awards, Best Fan Base Award. Winner, Zuri Awards, Finance category. Now, by the way, this one I think will Fraisha Ali Badawi. She's a graduate of Maseno with a finance degree. We'll explain why, because he's also a finance guy. Ladies and gentlemen, hata sitasema mengi ya machache.
Nadia Mukami. Karibu sana ndani ya One Mic Show.
I could not wait.
Asante sana. Thank you for having me.
Okay. Now, is this your first time in the DMV, in the DC area?
Yeah, this is my first time in the US.
Okay.
Actually, yeah.
Okay. First, congratulations on your nomination, Afrima.
Thank you so much.
You know, like we've already crowned you, you know, like the #1 East African female artist.
Thank you so
You know,
much.
anyone who has a challenge, you know, you can inbox me and explain your challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Nadia has been out here, you know, like since I think the first time I saw you was it Labor Weekend? Yes, it was Labor Weekend in Houston.
Yeah.
You know, at an amazing show.
Yeah.
So first of all, you know, just talk to us about your experience here in the US. You know, you've been here now a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You've done a couple of shows. Talk to us, Nadia.
First of all, it has been humbling because for the last 7 years, there hasn't been like a female artist who's toured the US. Actually, 10 years. So I really feel humbled because I got the chance to do this. When I came here, nilikuwa nimekuja kufanya tu what we call it, the Labor Day weekend
In Houston.
in Houston only.
Yeah.
Then the other promoters got the word that Nadia is in town, so I was able to extend my stay here and to a couple of states, you know, and it has been crazy. It has been amazing turn up, you know. Once you go kwa ground, that's when you actually realize that people are actually listening to my music. That's when you get to know that the songs that you never thought that like could get to the diaspora are actually here. So it's really humbling and definitely an amazing experience. Yeah.
Okay, and what's been your experience with the people out here in the US? Is it your first time was it your first time in the US?
Yeah, it's my first time in the US.
Okay.
I realized everyone loves maombi. That's the first statement. Like everyone, I'll get people from all ages of life just coming to listen to me, and most of all, they're like, we hear mostly because of maombi. So it means that maombi had a huge impact on my career. I mean, it's the song that gave me my first financial breakthrough. So there's a lot like I've been doing and I haven't realized it. So until I came here and I realized, there's the other side of the audience. So it's humbling and it's an amazing experience. Yeah.
Okay, so I can see, you know, a couple of listeners here are very happy to see you in the studio. And before we get into the rest of the panel, I want to quickly know, you are very young, you know, and you've seen a lot of success.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen artists in Kenya, you know, like especially younger artists complaining that we don't get opportunities, you know, opportunities only go to, you know, like the artists who've been in the industry for a longer time.
Yeah.
What exactly is it that you did maybe differently that you think has made you see so much success
Number one, being able to go to school, because I studied in Maseno University.
Okay.
Actually started as a radio host. I was hosting a local campus radio.
Okay.
It's called Equator FM back in Maseno University.
Interesting.
So I remember, just a brief story. One day we were in class doing a unit called communication skills. So we were in a group and everyone didn't want to read the speech for Martin Luther because people were scared and stuff. So I was like, we're not going to fail this unit because everyone doesn't want to do it. So I took and read the speech, and that lecturer told me, you need to get into the studio and do something, in the studio, the local studios. So that's how I started. I became a little bit famous, just ndani ya shule and outside the school. So I had, following from Maseno University, Just, Egerton, Masinde Muliro. So by the time I was launching my first single, it was already like a hit in Maseno and the neighboring university. So every time we had like an event in school, it was, who's the artist? Who's the university artist? It's NADIA. Who's like the person of the year in the university? It's NADIA. So I think by the time I launched my first music video, even you can check, it was always like, this is our student, this is our guy, this is our girl, this is our NADIA. So it was really amazing because having that following. And the other thing I think is having a plan. I've had a plan from, the word go. I remember the first time I got signed, I went to my manager, the first manager I ever had, with my plan, my biography, where I wanted myself in 5 years. So it's like there's never been an artist who's ever come to me like this, even with their own biography, profile, where I want to be. So I think having your own plan and from the onset is the most important thing, and nothing beats hard work. You may have a manager, but you just don't rely on the manager to do everything. Like, you need to push yourself. Having the discipline in the music industry is very important. Most people take it like it's a career for Sodom and Gomorrah, so having that mentality, I think it's a killer. It's a place for free alcohol, free women, free I don't know what. So I think discipline is very, very important. I treat it like any other job. I mean, I don't drink in my line of duty. I make sure that I honor my contracts, I honor everything that I'm supposed to do. So I think discipline is key word, and nothing beats hard work.
Asante sana, Nadia, and you're tuned into the One Mic Show. Nadia Mukami live in Kilimanjaro Studios. Now, more important, she's performing tomorrow. There's a live show that's coming up tomorrow at Hakuna Matata Grill in Silver Spring, Maryland. Now, I have pinned on the comments, like the tickets. Get your tickets now, because hizo tickets, mukifika pale mlangoni, bei mnajua inafanya nini, inapanda. Na Mwaura, get your ticket. We'll figure out transportation for you. Don't worry. Get your ticket fast. Get your ticket fast, and then we'll guarantee transportation for you. So now I want to go to the rest of the panel. We have a couple of panelists on the phone, but I am going to go to Ruth first, who's been listening to your music all week long. She has a couple of questions for you.
Yeah.
Ruth.
So number one, I'm just like fanning over you because number one, I did finance in school. I work in finance.
You walked into a den of financiers.
Wow.
We are financialists.
This is
one.
greatness,
Wanajiona na vilemba.
So ile collection ya kesho, you can hire us. We can collect it for you.
We're good.
And then we'll count it for
We
you.
can produce reports too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but and I think the training kind of gives you what you're saying.
Yeah.
Ruth, back up.
Yeah.
Let me say this. I'm gonna own up to this one.
Yeah.
I'd heard about Maombi, and I liked it.
Yeah.
I did not know Nadia as of last week.
Yeah.
So when they said you're coming, I gotta do research with this person. Now, so let me say, this week you had a lot of plays from me from YouTube, Spotify, everywhere.
Boomplay?
Well, I don't have Boomplay, but
Spotify is fine.
Spotify, YouTube.
You're on Spotify, yes?
Yeah, she is. She is. I will not be talking about Spotify. You don't know that.
Royalties.
MySpace.
MySpace. High five.
Listen, YouTube,
High five.
Spotify. Tell me anything else, I go listen. But the fact, I like the fact that you had a plan from the beginning. Like, this is who I am. This is what I want to do. And this is a plan I have. And, did you follow the plan to the T? Because I know plans can detour or whatever. Tell me about that.
And by the way,
also,
at what age? This plan, when you met your previous, what age? How old were you?
How old are you? And how did you detour from finance to music?
Yeah.
Like, I would love to hear that.
Yeah.
Because you're very young. You look like someone who was born in the
know.
2000s.
No. I started music when I was 20. I'm 24 right now. And yeah.
Just 4 years.
Yeah, just
wow.
4 years. I think the best part was, I remember I didn't know if I was gonna get into this like music space, because even growing up, I was always an academic. You know, I knew I was just gonna get into finance or accounting. Or
You are a chop. Just say you are. I was a chop. Don't say academic. Just say chop.
I was an academic.
No.
It's a polite way of saying I was a chop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice way.
So the first time I remember when we were switching, when you're about to specialize, I was a third year in Maseno University, and I was like, you know what? For me to be able to do music like Kabisa, I need to do finance, because it was what was easier for me compared to accounting. So I decided to do finance, then at the same time balance. And one of the things that people I think get it wrong is sometimes because you're an artist, you don't need education. I think you equally need it, because for me, I believe music is something that opens other doors. You know, I'm not gonna be singing forever. There's a time I wanna venture into other things.
Okay.
It's true, because you can't. There's gonna be other 10 Nadias after me who are better than me. So there reaches a time where you need to, change into other things. So having that education background is very important. So I think when I was a fourth year, that's when I switched from now. I was like, no, I've never been employed, actually. So I think it was God's favor, most of all, because I got into Coke Studio, which was my first breakthrough, when immediately I graduated. Not even graduated, when I just finished my fourth year. And I'm waiting for my graduation. I'm on the list, so it was God's favor, yeah.
Oh wow, that's really really cool. And what inspires your music? Because I did a study. This is like our entire week of study. So you gaining confidence through your videos from the beginning. But so what? Some of the questions like, what inspires you to write this music? I mean, is it the environment or things you've gone through, or stories you hear around you?
Yeah.
What inspires you?
What just general life and everything around me. Sometimes I may write a certain type of song and people feel like, maybe it's about you, but it's not really about me. Someone may tell me a story and I'm like, this would really fit so well in a storyline of a music, a song, or just my own personal story. I can just put it down in my songs. So I think it's just life in general. Yeah.
That's really. I will keep going.
Okay.
Don't stop me.
All right.
We're gonna stop you right now.
Yeah. Now, before we go to like our panelists who are on the phone, we have our DJ who's not present today, Omosh Fire, and we also have Mika on the phone.
Yeah.
What interesting traits have you seen with Kenyans? This is your first time in the US, and you've interacted with so many Kenyans since you came here. What unusual or interesting traits have you seen with Wakenya hapa? Ni tabia gani ambayo umeona labda tumeileta hapa kutoka Kenya, ama what is it that unusual you've seen with us that maybe you did not expect?
And before you answer that, please be careful. Tread a thin line. You're treading a thin line.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Don't look at me. Don't give me that look. But go ahead.
I think back at home we always have this thing where Kenyans don't support Kenyan music. So, but here people are turning up and I don't know, showing out.
Now you can mention that.
For
We like that. We like that. We like that.
Sure,
We like
yeah,
that.
wanatokea sana for shows. So, the support here is crazy. And people like gathering together as Kenyans. I realize that a lot. So that's one trait that I've seen. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And Mika has a quick question, from the phone. Mika, msalimie Nadia Mukami and talk to her. Mika. No, you are unmuted, Mika.
Nilikuwa na confirm kwanza. Joan Mike ni hate sana. Hi Nadia, hapa tunacheza conspiracy, watu watuko kwa studio tunamutiwa tusiongee, tuendelea party sawa.
Unasikia rumors.
Hapo
Unasikia rumors.
But anyway, the rumors ni kweli. Alright, so Nadia, I think Ruth amuuliza swali zote zilikuwa nataka kuuliza, but this is the thing. Nadia, I remember when I first heard your song, what was it? Yule Yule?
Yeah.
It's called Yule Yule? Yeah. When
Yule
I first
Yule.
heard that song, I remember, listening to the song, and then, this studio usually tend to look for music that's just upcoming, or we have this idea. We decided we just want to push Kenyan music to everybody. And then I remember when we played a song, and I was like, this girl she's something. And then you did Radio Love, and I think another one. You're like, actually, this is a talent being slapped on. And I think my question is like, nobody had ever heard of NADIA MUKAMI. Then in here comes this girl who's bold enough to belt out ballads in Swahili, and she's doing it in her own unique style. Like, at that time we had artists who they would lean more towards R&B, or they would lean on more towards hip hop. But you just came out and you're like, with that ballad style, and you took it up. What gave you that strength to actually, or how has it been for you in these 4 years to grow in this male-dominated, shark-infested water that is called the Kenyan music industry? In that short time, for you to come in, carve out your niche, and now, literally, if you say the word NADIA, people know who NADIA is. Like, you stand out as a beacon. How did you navigate all that in this short span of time?
All right. I think one of the things I always put myself as a business. When you set up a business, there are things that you need to keep doing in order to keep it going. Number one is you keep refilling. Ni kama kujaza stock. And if you're in the service world, you need to keep refining. So I always have an amazing team. Number one, you can be the manager, the producer, the listening team, the everything, because at the time you lie to yourself.
The video vixen.
The video vixen, So I think I have the right people. That's number one. You need to have the right people, not just people who are yes men, people who just tell you, Nikali, but people who are always telling you, nah, do this, don't do that. This is what is gonna sell. This is not what gonna sell. Because every time it's like a business. There are bad days, there are good days. There are days you'll check a song and it's like, it's a miss. Like the reception wasn't as much as you wanted it. And you go back to the drawing board with your team and you're like, how do we refine it? How do we continue making the NADIA MUKAMI brand better? Because I think the NADIA that I was when I was 20 and getting into the music industry, and the NADIA MUKAMI I'm gonna be, let's say by God's grace, next year, they are gonna be like two different people. I think a good business needs to keep refining itself so that it can, attain the sustainability, So I think I keep refining myself, and I will keep refining myself so that, I can last in the game for long. Because, man, there are people who come with one-hit wonders, they have disappeared. I always make sure that every year I have like a big song. So it's by refining myself so that I can, achieve the sustainability in the music industry, because the music industry is also tricky. Ukilala kidogo, there's another one who's hot. So, and they always say the truth on the table is you can be hot forever. So what you do with your time, they always say make hay while the sun shines. So I think I'm making my hay right now, and I can't wait for you to hear the stuff I have.
All right, talking about making your hay, we have
really good.
Yeah, we have a lawyer here who's listening by the name Pablo Nzengu, and he's asking NADIA akona lawyer wa kushughulikia copyrights.
Yeah, I have a lawyer for that. I think the first thing my manager tells me is like, you'd rather fire me, but always have a lawyer. Because we've been in some scenarios where blackmail, of course, because people are trying to extort money from you. So we have a lawyer.
So and on that, before we go to Omosh, because we have Omosh who wants to talk to you on studio, your videos at some point, like they disappeared from YouTube, and people are looking for them and they are wondering, like what's happening. Talk a little bit about that. What happened there?
So how the music monetization process works is we have someone who manages the music videos for us. So you need to have like how do I put it, an intermediary between us and YouTube. So I think it was more of, now that intermediary, there was an issue. I don't want to get into details because of NDAs and stuff, but something that was not proper, but it wasn't from our side, happened just because of the respect I have, or we also having some legal stuff going on. I don't want to get into much detail.
Okay, but the videos are back up.
They're
right
back
now.
on YouTube, by the way. Yeah.
Okay.
Just the way they were, the comments they were at, the views they were at. Yeah.
All right, you're listening to the One Mic Show, and live in Kilimanjaro Studios today is NADIA MUKAMI. She will be performing tomorrow at the Hakuna Matata Grill. You know, like we have placed the link in the comment section. We've pinned it right there. Buy your tickets. Maura, I hope you've clicked on the link and bought your tickets and bought for your neighbors and for the friends of your neighbors. Because hata kama ni basi, hata kama ni matatu itakuja itawachukua. Don't worry about transportation. Weka tikiti first. Kwanza watu wa Baltimore, mbogi ya Baltimore. You know, Baltimore is one of those markets where kuna Wakenya wengi sana.
Why are you looking at me?
No, I was just stretching. I was just stretching my neck. I wasn't looking at you. But nasema Baltimore kuna Wakenya wengi. Kuja na mbogi yote ya Baltimore. We wanna see those Timberlands, we wanna see those Tusker t-shirts. Zote zijae. Tunataka kuona mkija. But anyway, wacha tuende kwa Omosh Fire. Omosh Fire ako na swali.
Ali, mazee umekuja na kifua leo. Lakini ni sawa.
Nadia is the cause. Nadia is the cause.
Yeah, in fact, these days he wears further studies. Na najua hizo vitu hata haezi ona but it's alright. Karibu Nadia, thanks for coming through. Welcome to DC, welcome to the States. I know this is your first of very many trips.
Yeah.
And it sounds like, since now we're goal oriented. So do you see yourself winning a Grammy?
Yeah, I think everything just starts with believing. Like, I believe one day, as I said, I keep refining myself. And the reason for refining myself is, to leave a legacy behind. It's just not to be remembered for the hits, but at least there are people who will speak about the work that I did, about the barriers I broke, and the mark I left in the music industry. So I see myself winning Grammys, BETs, but siku zote wanasema ni Mwenyezi Mungu akipenda na akituweka tufike hizo siku. Yeah.
Hapo safi sana. That's a very good way to think about it. Truth.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
There is a song, and forgive me for forgetting the name of the song.
Yeah.
It's about the music industry and
Yeah.
how it was to you.
Yeah.
Remember the name of it? And Sirahisi, yes.
Yeah.
And what inspired that? I mean, like, it's very explanatory, but I want to hear your experience in the music industry in Kenya and what really got you to write that song.
I think that was the song that actually brought me into the music scene, and I knew it was gonna be so competitive because being a female artist, there are always all these things that society has put for us.
Mm-hmm.
So I really wanted to be like, when I come into the game, I want people to see me for my content. I want people to be like, that chick can write,
Mm-hmm.
even from the songs I've written and the recognition I've gotten from, the poetic side of my music. So Sirahis was just about the struggles that I have heard and I have experienced, in the music scene, especially in Kenya. I mean, it's hard to make money. It's hard to break through if you don't know the right people. Just your sound sometimes may be like a barrier for you to break through because they're like, no, we want this type of music. Let's say this type of sound is what is currently trending, and maybe you don't feel that sound. So it was just about the challenges that we go through as artists, and I think I thank God because it was a smart move, because that's the song that really got me in the music industry. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Asante sana. I think Uno has a quick question here.
I was listening to some of your interviews.
Yeah.
And one thing that stood out in many of them was you mentioning how hard it is to make it into the Kenyan music industry.
Yeah.
But even tougher is to make it as a woman, as a female.
Yeah.
And I was just curious, and I wanted to know. And the thing is, the only way we can actually learn of the hurdles, or even probably come to assume, or maybe even have an inkling, is to be told. For somebody to paint a picture of some of the hurdles that a female artist goes through, because normally you really don't hear, when you look at let's say, for example, charts or artists, when you hear names, in a sprinkling of 15 guys or a group or whatever it is, there's a sprinkle of a lady. Nadia, maybe Sanaipei, a sprinkling of maybe, you know, if you go outside, you know, Vanessa, you know, you don't hear that much. Now, she has, you know, she's come roaring.
Yeah.
And at 24, she's not barking, she's growling.
Yeah, and she's moving, you know, like
Deep.
she's moving at a fast pace.
Boss, you don't get 11 plus million streams on Boomplay. Come Chezo. So
and I turn on that has million views on YouTube as well.
So I mean, those are the things like so what are some of the hurdles? Paint, because you know there's some young girls out there, there's a young lady, there's a young wanting to be a musician, but maybe even in Kenya, you know, or even here, but you know, some of the struggles or what, you know, and mentorship sometimes is also important. So if you could just mention or talk about that.
Yeah, number one, I'll start with, you know, just generalizing the hurdles you go through as artists. You know, let's say you get in the music scene at a young age, there's the lack of knowledge of like the music business. You're not aware of contracts, you don't know what sometimes you're getting yourself into. I remember when I was starting up, I had the same issue, but luckily it wasn't like as bad because it's something that could have tied me. I was able to get out with the right legal procedures. And just as a woman, you know, just because you're a woman, you're like sexualized, you know. You know, for you to get a certain level, you need to have to go with these guys. There are people who maybe don't see you like the way they see the male artists, like, you know, they need to work hard, but for us it's like you need to date so and so. So I think those are some of the challenges that have led to some of the female artists quitting the music scene. I mean, there's so many females who've quit the music scene in Kenya because of challenges. So it's just knowing how to navigate. Like, number one, having a manager. You know, the moment that you keep talking to, like, let's say it's a guy, wanaume ni wanaume ama wanawake ni wanawake, you know, if you keep talking to people directly, someone is going to have, not everyone is the same, not everyone is professional, someone is going to have a hidden agenda. So I've hired a music manager from the onset of my career. So those are the things you need to put in place, not wanting to be, you're the one booking shows, you're the one booking interviews, you're striking deals for yourself. So it's you understanding these are the hurdles and this is how I can navigate in the music industry. Having a manager is number one. Having a personal assistant as well. They always say for your business to thrive, at least you need to have like the operation side has to really be taken seriously. So the operation side of being an artist needs to be taken care of, so that you don't end up you're the one talking to the promoter, talking to the bookings guys. So it's just knowing how to navigate through that. And the other challenge is, I think, how do I call it? Like the I don't know if I can call it the valuation that we put as opposed to the guys. Because someone's like, but Nadia's just going to get married one day. Why should I give her 1 million Kenyan shillings to perform?
Wait.
And
That's the valuation that happens?
Yeah, it happens.
Wow.
Like
Women face these things in every career.
In every
That
career.
is
Every
sad.
career, women face them.
Very
And
sad.
the other
Until you get married and
Let's focus
yeah,
on
you're gonna
Nadia,
get married and you're
but
gonna
that's
have
not an
someone
issue.
to
Yeah.
take care of you.
Yeah.
Why should? But I'm a brand. I work equally, like just like Otile.
Wow.
I have the numbers just like Otile. So those are the things that we try to fight for, and that's why I believe having a team is essential. These are the people who are gonna fight for you, because you can't fight for yourself. It's really being a woman. We have to, you know. I always believe you can be an idealist or a realist. So it's being a realist that this is the world that we live in. So how are you going to navigate in the music industry? So there's that valuation. I've had those things whereby I have more hits than this male artist, but we're like, why does these people want to pay us less? And yet I have more numbers, more hits, more crowd. It's like, but you're a woman. Those are the things we go through every time. So once you have people that fight for you, and it's just telling the young artist, if you just want to, it's not just the creative space only, like you want to get in the music industry. It's not for emotions. I always say as a woman, sometimes you have to reason with your head, not your heart. Because the heart is what you love. It's okay to love whatever you do, but the head is what will get you where you want to be. Yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
asante sana,
Hi.
Nadia.
That is-
And I know, you know, like we have a couple of other questions in the studio, you know, like tuko na Bandio hapa, and we have Omosh, you know, like on the phone.
Put some comment.
Yes,
actually wanted to read the
and that's what we wanted to do. So Ruth, go ahead and read the comments, and then we are gonna continue.
Okay. So I'll start with what you read, that one about her having a lawyer. Wait, so Ali wears glasses Actually, I'm gonna not read that one.
No, read it. No.
Because
No, just
anyway.
read it. Just read it.
Wait, so Ali wears glasses now. I'm trying to match with Nadia.
Mini Karani. Easy ni glasses. Prescription.
Yeah, right. Greatness. This go Nadia. Great interview.
Thank you.
Slay says, Njoro, you read my mind about you wearing glasses. Nadia has cemented a couple of things so far: having a plan, consistency, reinventing yourself, and above all, being purposeful. Wow. Agreed, Pablo. Great interview. Kanadia Katambe. That's
by the
a
way,
compliment.
Only DJ Cat's Dread, yeah.
But from her song Sisi Rahisi, Kanadia Katambe.
Oh,
That's my
a
slogan.
Oh, really?
That's a slogan.
Okay. That's a slogan.
Yeah.
That's from DJ Cat's Dread.
Okay. I need to read the people writing this. Okay. There's a question from Pablo that I think is very, very important, especially when you say you knew to have a manager. Like, you were 20 when you started this.
Yeah.
You see, that is such a grounding thing to have and to know. Number one, who keeps you grounded, but also who advised you? Because at 20, 10 of us did not know much, you know?
Yeah.
Like, how did you know all of these things, and what keeps you grounded?
Although she snuck out from the house, but go ahead.
Yeah, I think number one, it has been, I don't know, sometimes it's just how you were brought up, like the kind of discipline you have for yourself, because up to now, the things I can do, like there's some sort of discipline that I have for myself, that because I want to go far, I just don't want to reach a certain place, and I'm like, I just don't like being contented with one thing. Some people may see, oh, but you have achieved this. Myself, I'm like, damn, I haven't even scratched the surface, you know, the dreams I have are so big. So I think the upbringing is also very, very important, like how you were brought up. And I think even when I go back home, I was talking with my manager, like, you know, insisting on education. Like, people always say in Kenya back at home, they're like, you know, hata tukienda kusoma, we won't get jobs, but education is, man, so important, because it has played a big, big, big part in my career. Sometimes you go to my manager to strike a deal, and we throw the card for like, Nadia is a graduate for finance. And now the guy becomes very interested because they know they're dealing with a work artist. So we just get out of there because, you know, I went to school, and sometimes he asks me questions and I can revert them myself. So I can say education has also played a good part in my career and in my journey. And let's say if you were not lucky enough, because sometimes life is also not how we want it to be. I think grounding yourself is very important. Like, do some research. Nowadays, there's Google. There are things. I have an agency right now. I run a marketing agency. I taught myself things from Coursera. I look at people whom I want to be like, and I Google them. I go to YouTube most of the time. So it's the resources at this era, they're just right around us. You don't have to, like, we can say, if I wasn't lucky enough to go to school, right now there's internet. You know, there's Google, there's everything that you can get yourself around. So it's, knowledge is powerful. Even the Bible, you know, insists on having knowledge. Like, get yourself some knowledge.
But let me ask.
Quran pia.
But let me ask.
Yeah.
Okay, if you have to drop the nugget that you have a finance degree.
Yeah.
And here we're talking about, let's say, probably trying to get, you know, a contract because you're a musician.
Yeah.
Doesn't it sometimes, or do you look at it like, okay, why do you ask yourself, okay, why is it that I have to say that I'm a finance major, or, you know, I'm a finance graduate, just so at least you can get the second look? Why not that your talent, like, you know, when you look at, because we can actually look at what Nadia has accomplished. You know, when you look at her singles, she's got Kesi, Sirahisi, African Lover, who actually I think she sang for somebody else, but, you know, and
Later
I'll mention who that is.
Yeah.
Yule, Radio Love, Lola, Ikamate Hiyo, Maombi, Jipe, $1 Million, Tessa. Zungushie, Doze.
There's that collab that you did with Fena and Calligraph.
Kolo, whatever, $1 million.
Tessa,
Yeah.
Like,
So let
that
me.
in itself should already be like, okay, I don't have to say that
Yeah.
I'm a finance major.
Now
or,
let me. That's an interesting question, but you're at a negotiation table. All right. There's this already perception that has already been laid out for artists. Like, you're going to endorse my you know, my product. All right. So most of the time wasanii tunaonekana kama hamjasoma. Like there's a lot. Changamoto ni nyingi. If my manager was to tell you some of the things that are looked at before you endorse a product, you'll be shocked. Sometimes they want someone who is easy to get conversant with that product. So it's just putting your cards on the table. Like talent is never enough in the music industry. They always say it's 10%. My manager can tell you that. Like having hits is, how many people do we know have a catalog of 50 million, let's say, streams only on YouTube and don't get any deals just because of personality, how you package yourself. So it's the cards you place on the table. It's a negotiation table, all right? So it's how you play your
And remember,
your
Nonini
cards.
talked about that. Nonini talked about when he was very popular, but he wasn't getting any contracts.
cards
What
on the
she's
table.
saying
but you
is
see-
it's an added
Value,
value,
yeah.
to what it's like. You can have experience, but once you say I have a master's, it's an added value to
Yeah.
your
But
experience.
but the thing is, right? Does that across the board apply to male artists?
you never. I don't.
Yeah, it does.
Because
You never
because
know.
no
I
because
think so.
because again, you're a creative. Being a creative,
Let me
and again, and
let me add. For
yes.
instance, like King Kaka, one of the things that has helped him become King Kaka as a brand. I mean, there's so many people who are equally as talented as him.
Yes.
It's because he ran with the thing that he went to school and did accounting. So it's how you play around. At the end of the day, it narrows down to branding. How do you play around with your cards for, like I went to school. It's you're able to get endorsements that actually make sense, because there's some of these people that don't care about the music. Let's be honest. There's
Right.
some of these people who don't care. So there are others who
they just
really
want to
they
move
don't care about the
numbers.
finance.
They just want to move
they,
numbers.
Yeah, they want the numbers, and these others were like, so she's a smart artist, or just like King Kaka. So King Kaka actually was given a column in Nation just because he's learned and stuff. So it's not like the only thing. That's actually, like she said, it's a value add. It's how you play your cards on the table.
And I see where she's coming from, because in the corporate world, like I usually see when we're looking for endorsement, like for people, not necessarily even artists, there's so many other things that are discussed in meetings, on whether this particular personality will be able to sell our product. I think we're going to go to, let's go to Bandio first real quick. I know Bandio has a question, and also Omosh has been waiting, for a little while. So we're going to go back to reading the comments.
And he needs to appear in the video because
Yeah, like
and
kisha kwamba
but it's not
sionekane.
that is not Ruth Kilungu.
Okay, yeah, make that
Oh,
clear.
sorry.
Okay, Nadia, karibu.
Asante sana.
Karibu Kilimanjaro Studios.
Asante.
Swali langu ni moja. Nini hakitabadilika katika muziki wa Nadia?
Very good question. I think the poetic flow, till I die, like the poetic flow, because when I was growing up, I remember I used to love writing mashairi sana, and I remember I went to a very very
A very
choose
good
the
school.
choice of words.
A very good group of schools.
It was a group of schools, Yes, and people never really liked Swahili there. So I was always the one reading news and shairis on Friday. So if I have mood swings on Friday and I decide not to do it, it's not going to be read. So it was always Nadia doing it. So I think that also played a good role. And the poetic flow, the Swahili poetic flow is always going to be there.
Okay, kumalizia tu. Na hili sio swali.
Yeah.
Kufundisha kina Ali.
Please.
Yeah.
Kuja kwa frame.
Okay, nafikiri umezungumza package katika muziki.
Yeah.
Lakini package ya muziki wako nafikiri iko katika ushairi,
Yeah.
katika midondoko yako ya sauti,
Yeah.
si tu katika beats na sauti na jinsi ambavyo naimba na kucheza.
Yeah.
Na hicho ni kitu ambacho nafikiri kwangu mimi kinanivutia zaidi, na nimefurahi kusikia kwamba ni kati ya vitu ambavyo havitobadilika.
Yeah.
Kwa sababu haijalishi unaimba muziki gani.
Yeah.
Kama ushairi uko pale pale, midondoko iko pale pale, nafikiri bado utaendelea kuwa yule ambaye upo, na nafikiri ndo ambacho kinakutenganisha na wasanii wengi sana kutoka Kenya.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, just to let you know, she was born and grew up in Mombasa.
Okay.
So
Oh, that
Quick.
explains a lot.
Okay.
and then she moved to
Kwa hiyo ni wa kwetu.
So ni wa kwenyu. Alina kufurahisha.
No, unajua kwa sababu unajua kuna sometimes, like, because, like for me personally, like even when we do the hit or miss,
Yes.
I'm usually very big on mashairi.
Yes.
There's some songs that have good beats.
You're
But then,
poetress.
yeah, but there's some songs that you hear that have good beats, but then haina yo shairi, ama they're just picking up words that are just flowing, but that are not making sense to each other.
Yes.
So you know, like
Aina mdalasini.
hapo basi sawa. Hapo sawa, hapo Mosha ameipata kabisa. So it's a very good thing, you know, like when you see a focus on the mashairi. And that's the reason why I think also Nadia songs are selling in Tanzania. Unaona, Mubelo Bandio here is a Tanzanian, you know, like, and he really loves your music. You know, Kenyans have struggled to
he really loves your music.
Yes, you know, because Kenyans have struggled to, you know, like at some point we were selling in the Tanzanian market, but it got to a point where there was a struggle in the Tanzanian market, and I'm glad to see, you know, like Nadia actually doing collabos, you know, especially that song you did with Mario Jipe, amazing song.
Thank
you know, that's a song, you know, like the views ile ziko hapo, whatever millions that you see, half of them ni mimi ndo nimekuwa nikisikia. No, hiyo ngoma imeweza. Hiyo ngoma imeweza.
Just to before you read the comment, just to let you know, like we really, you know, when it comes to Nadia, when it comes to Nadia, and when it comes to Nadia, our leaders and let us breathe, but I think after today, maybe tutapumua kiasi.
I know.
Read the comments.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ali.
Do you feel that your experience in finance has helped in the entertainment industry? I think she's explained that very well.
Yeah.
Slay says that is so sad. It's about when this a question women do get asked in any career. Your value goes down when you get married and have kids. So that coming to Nadia is no surprise to any woman who's in a career. So I know Slay saying that is so sad, but it's so true. That does happen. Yeah. Statistics show that there are more female concert goers than males. So what that means, women do not support women. My thoughts. Where did Njoro come with that?
So wait, women are more concert goers, but they don't support women artists.
That's what. Okay, never mind.
No, I don't know. You know, but let me
can explain that.
But let me say something real quick about that. You know, like there's this issue sometimes of you know, like trying to blame women for issues women are experiencing when these are societal issues.
Thank you.
They're not women issues. You know, there's this thing of even when it comes to issues like voting, utasema, you'll hear people saying, oh, there's more women voters, but there are no women voters being
voting for other women.
Voting for other women. But you have to realize, you know, like we are all,
the
you know,
is real.
we are all products of the environment that we live in. That's both men and women.
But I think also here, like when you look at Kenya, when you look at the creative and look at the entertainment industry, we don't have as many women that are growling and maybe she can touch on this. You know, maybe they are growling. They're not just being given a chance. You know, to growl. They're growling, but hawafunguli mlango. Like, you come in, let's hear what you have. But someone like her has actually, you know.
But she came with a plan and got a manager.
And that is at a young tender age, yes.
Yeah. I would like her to speak to that. Like, do you see other artists, and I'll most likely go to women artists in Kenya.
Yeah.
Who come to the table or want to launch their careers and they don't have the background you had, like, you know, knowing I need a manager, I need a plan, I need to redefine myself to reinvent myself, and they find these challenges of when you get married, there's no need of investing in it, because when you get married or when you get kids, you're gonna get out of the music industry or whatever things are thrown at women. What is the difference between what you've been able to do and what other women have experienced in Kenya?
I would say, like, let me be smart about that question.
Absolutely.
I may say something, then it doesn't go out or it's misunderstood. Okay. So I always say yeah. So I always say every generation of artists or female artists is different. All right. Let me talk about the generation of Avril and Kina Vivian.
Amani.
And Kina Amani as well, and Wahoo. It was a generation where streams weren't important. Like, even today, if you check their streams, they don't have as much streams, okay? So I always believe every generation is different. Stream yetu, it has a lot of streams. It's about numbers. Right now, it's who has the most numbers and who's pushing to have more numbers. So I'd say the different generation have different problems. Let me just put it that way.
Okay.
And it's just about just ground yourself, number one, and understanding, why am I doing the music industry? That's the first. Why am I in the music industry? Are you here for fame? Are you here to make money? Is this something that you love, just that by the smallest problem you want to run away? Like, it's important to understand, why am I doing this? So that's where you start, and you have to really ground yourself. Yeah.
All right, and I want to remind the listeners that you're tuned
a
into
very
the
sweet
One Mic
answer.
Show. We are live in studio with
very
Nadia MUKAMI. She's out here in the DMV. A big show is coming up tomorrow at the Hakuna Matata Grill in Silver Spring, Maryland. We have already, posted the link. Get your ticket. Maura, I hope I know you've already gotten your ticket now. Now get your ticket for your neighbors, your exes, and your exes' friends.
come
And we're
on.
gonna come collect all of them. Na hata kama ni matatu watakuja wote. Mbogi ya Baltimore deep. Tunataka kuwaona kesho pale Hakuna Matata
By the way,
Grill.
Mokami, yes, we
Yeah.
do know Mbogi. Unajua hizo malingwa. Tunazijua.
Ngumi mbwekse.
Ngumi Tuko up to date. Tuko up to date. And here's the interesting thing. Some of us came to the US, like Uno came before me. We came at a time when YouTube was non-existent.
Omosh came like about 1952.
Yeah, so we have Omosh on the phone. We have Omosh on the phone. He's gonna
52.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
over there, somewhere there.
And he has some questions for you,
All right.
but real quick, I want to say my most blind period for Kenya was when I first came to the US in 2003 to about 2005 when I went back to Kenya. Like that period, I was blind because the only connection to Kenya was Nation. The Nation had a newspaper online. That was the only connection. There was no YouTube. There was nothing. So like you're not keeping up with the new slang. There was no social media. You're not keeping up with the new slang. But when YouTube came up, and like a lot of this music started coming here, that's when we started now keeping up with the slang, keeping up with the changes that are happening in Kenya. And that's what really has been keeping us posted. There's, of course, like the news and the politics side, but then, of course, there's the entertainment side that I now see even younger Kenyans some who are born here, some who are raised here, are now getting attracted to that Kenyanness and Kenyan culture because of the entertainment that they see, and you're seeing them curious about wanting to learn Swahili. That never used to be the case. Let's go to Omosh from his undisclosed location in his island. I know he's been holding a burning question there. Omosh, fire, twende kazi.
Asante sana. So Nadia, this is another question for you.
All right. Yeah.
I noticed, I don't know if One Mic told you or not, last night I was hapo working a mix together of like all your stuff. So I went through my files, got all your music together, put them in a folder, and then I started DJing so I could make a mixtape that was purely Nadia stuff. And we'll hook you up with the mix. But
Yeah,
neither here or there. One thing I did notice is that you have a lot of collaborations, or at least I think I counted at least 5 or 6 collabos that you've done with various different artists. So was this done? Was it by design, or was it one of those things that it happened to be that maybe you're in the same city hypothetically with Otile, and then you happen to be in the same city with I don't know, another artist. I think you have what's his name? I think Bahati, the once or twice, and there's some people who it seems that you guys gel, like when you're in the studio together, ama mkiwa pamoja, your collab inaingia sana, Calligraph ndio huyo yuko hapo. There's certain people who there's something in there. Do you see yourself doing more collabos upcoming, or is this something that it just so happened, or is this part of the larger, Nadia plan that, I'm going to pick certain people? Are you very specific about who you pick, or is this just tuko area, tuko studio, nimekuja DC, jina ni yuko area, tutafanya collabo pamoja? Back to you, studio.
All right. So first and foremost, there are those collaborations that just meant to build the brand. They always say, if you want to go faster, you go alone. If you want to go further, you go with people. So having people on board, like people with numbers just like you need to tap into other audiences. Like if Otile has a certain fan base, you need to go and steal his fan base. Like same as I've come here, like you guys have another maybe audience that I didn't have. So I've come and tapped into your audience, all right? And let's say if I post here, there's my audience that has tapped into your audience. So together we've grown. Same with Calligraph, same with Fena and everyone else that I've worked with. There are also the collaborations that are paid, of course, because it's business at the end of the day. Maybe other record labels approach my management and we need to, for exchange, because we are giving more. They're paid collaborations. It's business at the end of the day. So in terms of how do we choose our collabos, we sit down. Every year we always have what we call a year calendar. Like, these are the people or these are the things we want to achieve this year. So are we going to achieve all of them? Or if we haven't achieved all of them, at least we've achieved 50%. So it's always like we've planned. Like for Calligraph and Fena, we had this song as like, these people have to be on the song. It took like 6 months to get them on the song, but it worked. Otile is the one who approached me for a song on the DM after I did Wangu. Then, so we needed to be smart from our side because we knew he has numbers, and I didn't just want to end up being a featured artist. So we really fought for me being the one who's the lead artist and he's featured. So it's just how you play around with your collaborations, just having a plan. They must be meaningful and purposeful. What do you want to really achieve with them? You want to gain your numbers. Same with Mario from Tanzania. I want to tap into that audience. With Sanaipe, has a very loyal, generation that, oh my God, that really loves Sanaipe. And she has been one of the people I really look up to in the music industry. So it was for me to also tap into her audience and her to tap into my audience. Yeah.
Okay. I want to remind the listeners again, you're tuned into the One Mic Show, and of course, it's NADIA MUKAMI live in the studio. Concert happening tomorrow, Hakuna Matata Grill. It's going to be in Silver Spring, Maryland. You all know where Hakuna Matata is. And I think the show starts sangapi. Manager yuko hapa. Kwanza, manager, kuja. I know meko ukijificha. Karibia, usiogope. Karibia usaidi ya NADIA. Hapana. Karibia tu. Karibia mic. Na usiogope. Karibia yo side. No, kuja usaidi ya NADIA ndo uonekane. Kuja usaidi ya NADIA ndo uonekane. I know you guys don't like being seen. Okay, ama hapa sawa. Hapo lakini ataonekana.
Anaonekana ni kichwa tu.
Ni kichwa. Haya sawa, wacha ajifiche basi.
However you take that,
yeah,
don't blame me. Yeah. You can just see the head from the back.
Unajua hao watu wa behind the scenes hawapendagi camera, but we're gonna put manager on the spot.
He's Komodo shy.
He's Komodo shy. Yeah, but thank you so much.
Ama is polite. The NADIA is reacting.
He's polite. He's not shy.
He's not shy. He's polite.
Sasa, Manager Arthur, I'm going to let you introduce yourself first of all. And first of all, I want to thank you so much. You're one of the key people who made this interview possible. So, shukrani sana. And then I want you to briefly talk about tomorrow's show. Itakuwa wapi, itakuwa saa ngapi, kuingia ni pesa ngapi, na kadhalika. Twende kazi.
He doesn't like to stand up.
It's okay, I can talk.
No, it's not about talking. It's about being seen, because we want to see. We want to be seen.
Okay.
Ruth, no, it's okay.
Hapo sawa.
First of
He
all,
can lean in. He can lean in.
First of all, shukran kwa kutuinvite hapa OneMicShow. I love the setup. By there, I'm gonna steal the idea.
Let royalties too.
Royalties. That's all we'll ask. We'll come for you if you change the play. We'll come for you.
Anyway, the show is at Hakuna Matata Grill. NADIA puts on a very good show for an hour. I think that's it. Time from 10 p.m. 10 p.m. So guys, be there by 10 p.m. so that once we have enough people, we can roll in and
okay. And do we know how much the tickets are online? We've already posted the link, and how much the tickets are gonna be at the door. People will find out.
Only Weezy knows.
Where is Weezy?
Okay.
Where is Weezy?
Weezy also doesn't like cameras. He's somewhere in the building.
I'm pretend anachukua simu.
Yeah.
Akasema hello, nakam. Alafu akadisappear. Satan.
Sawa. Okay, asante sana, Arthur. So we're going to see you tomorrow there. So real quick, I know Omosh has a question and Uno also has a question. So Omosh, you quick fire, and then we're going to come back to you, Uno. Omosh.
Okay. You guys even threw me off. I think my question evaporated, lakini it will come back. So, Nadia, my question to you was, again, going all back to the way, as a DJ over here in diaspora, for me, my largest or biggest, I say my biggest issue, ama tuseme changamoto kubwa, ni kupata mziki ya kutoka nyumbani.
Yeah.
Is there one outlet for, and I'm saying this for DJs, not so many in the Spotify, is there a way you guys, especially in your track or on your side, is there a way that you have a channel to collaborate with DJs, or is that something that you're trying to set up? Unajua kupata 3-piece nini ndio tuwe na ile ability ya kuweka mixtape pamoja, or to to push your brand or push a lot of the DJs, the clubs, guys, because I actually have a segment over here called Hit or Miss, where we actually debut songs, and you featured quite a bit, with a lot of your songs.
Yeah.
All level of artists. So can you speak on that?
Yeah. So back at home, we always have what we call a DJ catalog. So we have like a whole folder for DJs catalog. Then there is this one DJ who does the supply to maybe the DJs who haven't maybe received it. So I think there might be like the communication, but now that we have networked, I think it's very, very much possible to get the emails of the DJs who are in this side. Because I think it was just the timings that I needed to be here for us to know, get to know the DJs from this side and maybe be in our DJs catalog. We are never choosy where to send or where not to send, because, at the end of the day, marketing, you need to get your music everywhere as much as possible. So I think that's something that we're going to work on, and that's like number one right now on the list. So we're going to make sure we have you and every other person who maybe wants to be part of our DJ catalog for the sake of the stems, the music stems, and also the 3 pieces. Yeah.
Asante sana. So is there a clothing line coming down the pipe?
A what? Oh, a song for the year, like the final release?
No. Is there a clothing line?
A clothing line.
Yeah.
Merchandise next year. But I'm just waiting for the approval from my guys. Yeah.
From your guy or your guys?
My guys from my team.
Yeah. Okay.
Akina those guys over there.
Those guys over there.
Yeah.
Not that other guy.
No. Wait.
Okay.
Jamani.
Not other. Wait. That guy over there.
That guy over there.
That guy whose words were limited.
Yes.
Okay. A man of few words.
Apparently.
Yeah.
But okay. So now, tomorrow, October 16th, hakuna Matata Grill.
Tickets are $30 per person.
Right now online, but there's no telling how much they're gonna be at the door.
So, unajua the problem with Kenyans, they wait until last minute to get at the door.
Yeah.
Musilalamike, you had the opportunity, it was there. Now, we have had Nadia tell us about her history, Maseno, finance.
Before you go there, let me ask one more question. I know the plane you're taking. I listened to her music this entire week on Spotify and YouTube, and Pablo has a very good question, and I think questions has been had several times. I'd always want to hear every artist take on it. MCSK.
Yeah.
Are you gonna get?
That's a whole show.
Are you gonna get?
Show.
Okay.
Because
what I listened, what I spent a lot of time. Like I can tell, like how your confidence grew over the videos, or are you gonna get my time paid to you?
The problem is, they say you need to fight and you need to start a revolution, but at the same time, somehow you can't fight the system. We've tried to fight it for everyone. Like every generation has tried doing it, but it's just maybe the whole thing is just scrapped off and we start afresh. I swear that's the only way it's gonna work. The whole system is scrapped. All these other solutions is like fighting the system, and somehow it's a system which doesn't exist because we actually don't know who's behind this thing sometimes. So it's like fighting a system that doesn't exist. And the other time I was saying, I don't want to get political, but the other time I was saying, like the way there was cash, 100 million that was released due to COVID for artists. You can't release money to a system that is so disorganized. So first of all, who's going to receive the money? how's the organization of making sure everyone gets it? So it's first you get your house in order, scrap off the whole thing, get off a new thing, and now you can actually start saying, now we're giving money because I didn't get a penny from it. I mean, back at home, who doesn't know NADIA? So if all we send, there are people who received, others didn't receive. So it's a matter of we can fight a system that we don't know.
Even the 2,500?
I haven't received it.
Oh, sorry.
For COVID, I haven't.
Dang.
So it's about, let's stop all sijui revolution, sijui nini. For me, I feel like it's time we scrap off the whole thing. Let's start afresh.
I'll say this.
Yeah.
I'll say this.
Yeah.
The creatives do not have one voice. And it is evident sometimes because the people who make a lot are silent. The people who are trying to make something are the ones that are vocal. And the support is supposed to come from the ones who are making. But let me ask you,
who's making money?
Again, when you... I'm not trying to
who's
call
the one that is making it? Who's the one who's making it?
Yeah. Hey,
so it's not Ozila, it's not King Kaka, it's not Kinasamido. Who's those people who are making that money?
And that's why be careful before, like criticizing the creatives.
No, not all creatives.
Yeah.
Because there are certain, and Omosh will attest to this, and there are certain groups that we are in. We know there are guys, and I'm not going to call out names because there are certain guys who are influential, who, if they were to make a declaration or they said something, because you do not want to bite that hand, the hand that feeds you, allegedly or supposedly.
I get you.
Okay? You do not want to. When you have someone like Calligraph comes out, Calligraph Jones.
Yeah.
OG comes out and says, Alipata 2,500. But there are guys you hear, a guy's royalty check was 40 million. And this is in the interwebs. And that guy will not say anything or will not even talk.
Ataikula kimya.
Kabisa. So there are guys, there are people. You hear Nadia over here said she has not even a cent, not even a penny.
Yeah. Yet her music is doing so well.
Mtu 11, okay, how many boom play streams are there? Are they 12 million, 13, 14?
12 million, 12.4.
Unasikia zimepanda. From the last time I checked,
wow.
It was 11. Now they're 12.4.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and those ones, and plus her royalties, anakula vizuri. But she's talking about it. There are guys who really have been ingrained in the music industry that haven't said anything. Okay, you know what? Have you ever had Nameless say anything about career? MCSK?
No, Nameless. I haven't had Nameless. Nonini is the one who I hear always talking about MCSK.
was a president of a. He was Impaka. He chomoked. He left. He quit.
Okay.
But anyway, again, as I said, that's but that's
Pablo says I worked for the Kenya Copyright Board, and them too, they have no idea.
Exactly.
So I think, as I said, we are fighting sometimes a system that we don't know. Like, you can't fight a system that you don't know. You know, it's like, exactly, you're fighting a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, hizi solutions zote zenye tutakuja nazo zote, mi naona hazitasaidia. Let's scrap the whole thing. Let's start again.
Me, I think contrary. I think the guys who are silent, there are those guys who are very silent. They need to talk. And we can go about and start naming names. You know, we can mention a few names, but that's a story for another day.
But I think
no.
But I think we also have to understand.
She has never received a nduru, so she doesn't care.
I'm saying we can call out this thing. She's a party to this.
Okay, so
but I think we also have to understand. I think we also have to understand in the grander scheme. You know, like we have a government that has established corruption, cartels, and systems that have been there for a long time.
Yes,
and these organizations running music are not immune. So I think it's an overall thing, you know, like you can't just go and say that by bringing this person or bringing this new person, it's going to change everything. All artists are going to start, you know, like making their money.
It's not government, it's devilment. But anyway, I'm saying from my producer.
You go on.
So I was going to say, listen, okay, you know what? Nadia is here. Weekend. There's a bash. There's a hanye. There's a, you know, there's a sherehe.
Yeah.
Sharia is going down. What are guys like in Ali, Bandio? Omosh is not here, so he doesn't count.
He's in an island.
Bombay.
Yeah.
One mic. What should we look forward to when it comes to Sharia tomorrow with Nadia MUKAMI, aka First Lady?
For those people who are still 50-50.
Can I finish? Can I finish first?
No, let me finish first. For those who are still 50-50.
You see what I have to deal with?
Me, I was just going to say, for those who are 50-50, not sure whether they should buy that ticket.
Yeah.
Those who are not sure whether they should buy that ticket, what are they going to be missing? Okay, Malaysia yako, and then...
You know what they'll be missing?
Yeah.
Ni maombi. Ni maombi. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, the most important thing is energy. Anyone who's been at my show, don't just see me as petite as I am and like, she's really gonna make us, get it.
Watch your mama
But,
petite.
yo, I'm fire on stage. I'm a whole Brenda Fassie on stage, So make sure you come through tomorrow. I promise it's gonna be worth your money. It has been worth people's money in almost every state I'm in. I don't play with my job, so just make sure that I'll make sure that it's entertainment guaranteed, that you're happy, and we'll take photos. So don't worry, just make sure you come.
Na ile nguo ulikuwa umevaa kule Houston ilikuwa imeweza.
Nitatafuta stylist.
Mimi nilikuwa tu hapo kando tu.
Kulikuwa na mtu aliingia stage.
Wapi Houston?
Houston
kuna watu wengi waliingia stage, lakini mimi nilikuwa tu hapo kando na miwani zangu kama karani nikimwangalia.
Yeah, it was amazing. So make sure you come through. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lastly, as people in the diaspora, how can we support Kenyan music?
Yeah. That's very, very important.
Question.
Number one is please buy our music. Stream my music on Spotify. Right now it's an in thing. Spotify, and all the other platforms. Guys, we need more subscribers. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, we are at 401,000 subscribers.
Yes, 401k.
Yeah.
Last check. I'm not stalking, but I'm just saying.
Yes, last check.
Half of those are
different
If we had like 100,000 people from the US subscribing, that would really be amazing. Especially if you guys view from this side, we get more money and stuff. So make sure you just keep supporting us. As you've heard, the royalties back at home, the publishing, it's not really working. So we depend on the royalties and the shows. So please make sure you support us by purchasing our music on all platforms. And you can follow me on my social media platforms, on Instagram at Nadia_MUKAMI, on Facebook, African Pop Star Nadia MUKAMI. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Nadia MUKAMI, #African Pop Star. Follow me on Twitter at Nadia_MUKAMI. Please buy my music. It's on all music platforms. I have some amazing merch coming out next year. If you wanna just it's available on our website, and keep following me.
Okay. Na DJ Tucha hapa anasema kuna show moja MCMKC aliingia stage, jamaa dancing was blunder. Hiyo sijui ilikuwa wapi?
I think I can recall.
Ama ilikuwa Minneapolis ama nini?
And it's Minneapolis ama it's
kama ni jamaa MKC. Kama ni jamaa mkisio ni Minneapolis.
It's Minneapolis. Yeah, it's Minneapolis.
What happened was?
What happened was the guy was, oh my God, he had energy from the start to the end. So anytime I just put a mic and please let me just come in front, I was like, let me just let the guy come and dance with me. Then he was dancing and he's leading the show all of a sudden. I know. But it's all love. It's all love. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Uno.
Now, I know you've had tell us what's moving forward. I was going to ask. I think there was one interview that I had. This was a while back, and you talked about an album called Diwani.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I think maybe that was with your prior management.
Yeah.
So what is, we've had singles, because I think Obosh said, he went and looked at her catalog and he's like, man, collabos, music, man, this mama's got music.
Yeah.
So album in the works, what's going on, what's cooking, what should we look forward to, collabos, did you get the Sauti Soul collabo mix that you hoped for?
Yeah.
I'll provide context to that, but what's going on?
Most of the time, some artists that you work with are not comfortable with you disclosing if they may be part of your collabos or not, or part of your album. So I'll not talk about the artist. But next year we are dropping my album. I don't even have a name for it, but I have a theme for it.
So it's not Diwani.
It's not Diwani.
Aya, sawa.
Along the way, you just change your mind. You're like,
It's okay.
I've outgrown that. So, but next year we're getting an album. Just know that next year we're getting an album. I've been working on this. It was supposed to be released this year, but Vitu hapa pale,
COVID.
I wasn't able
Not other.
traveling.
Oh, okay, sawa.
Traveling. So sometimes you need to shoot videos, finish this project. This artist is delaying. So you don't want to say next week, then it's not next week. So, but all I know is that next year we must have my first album. I have an EP though. It's called African Pops at the
African Pops.
EP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can go stream it out. It's amazing. We have over 30 million streams. So it's amazing. Just go stream. And when the album is out, man, I'll even make sure by God's grace, I'm back here to do a tour for the album. By God's grace.
Kwanza ile ngoma ulifanya na Masauti. Hiyo ngoma
Lola.
wazimu bana.
Asante.
You
So-
need to do more collabs like that.
Asante.
Yeah.
So this EP, this is the one that has Mario,
Yeah.
Calligraph Jones, Maua Sama, Fena,
Sana.
Falme, Sanaipe,
Yeah.
who I believe you idolize,
Yeah.
and Nigeria's Orezi,
Yeah.
Zimbabwe's Tami Moyo. That's the one.
Yeah.
So it's on
it's
Spotify.
on all platforms.
all
All
platforms.
All
platforms.
music platforms, yeah.
Now,
hakuna kucheza.
before we wrap up, I mean, so African Lover, I cannot forget about this. African Lover,
Uh-huh.
who was the crush?
When I wrote I was in campus when I was writing the song. I mean, when you're in campus, there's so many faces that are confusing you.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So I had a crush on this guy.
But the way you are planner, you had a
No,
vision.
this was way back. Mhm.
You had a
Yeah,
vision
had a
of what
vision.
you
I mean,
wanted.
the way you've come out and said you had a plan,
Yeah.
you had
Yeah.
a
You-
nine
you
steps.
are
Yeah.
planner. You are
There's-
planner.
You're a
There's this-
planner.
Yeah.
It's weird because sometimes you crush
But,
on someone, but you're in a relationship. So I was in a relationship and I was in campus. But there's also this guy that really used to, sweep me off my feet,
Allah.
whatever. Then he used to play football.
Hmm.
He was a footballer.
Okay.
And he
Because
used
me,
to
I'm thinking about somebody else.
No, it's not what you're thinking.
Okay.
No, I'm not that person. I'm
but
thinking.
at least, but in
If
your
I-
mind,
if I- oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me.
Yeah. Mhm. No.
No? Okay.
You know-
And Lord.
You know the receipts are there.
No. It was
No,
not him.
Okay, sawa.
no, sawa.
Yeah.
Hiyo siri, hiyo shauri yenu. But I'm sure you had a vision.
Yeah.
I'm sure you had a vision of how you wanted your guy, maybe muscular, maybe like.
And don't forget, Tyson Fury
Eh?
is not muscular, and to represent.
Eh?
Sisi
Did you
majamaa.
even know who that is?
Hmm?
It's okay. Boxing. Atajua Tyson Fury.
Atajua.
Yeah.
Even Arthur knows.
Hmm?
Yeah. I think sometimes a crush is just like a feeling. Sometimes when you get to know this people, you're like,
You get disappointed.
kumbe tu ni mtu wa kawaida. There's nothing there to know. There's nothing there to see.
So I
it
was off. I was off completely.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
No. Off air, I will mention, but I will say now.
Yeah.
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 So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, uhenga walinena kilicho na mwanzo hakina budi kuwa na mwisho. Meli imetia nanga. We are about to wrap this puppy up. Omosh. Togende.
Yes. Nadia, thank you very, very much
Yeah,
for
thank
gracing us with your presence,
Asante.
for showing up at the studio, for bringing us the music that you bring, for being around, for just allowing us to be in your space. Asante.
Asante sana for having me.
As well as being, whether you like it or not, a role model for those young ladies, who are upcoming in the music industry.
Thank
Wale, the girl child. I see you are representing the girl child. Sana, asante sana.
Asante.
Your music speaks to a lot of people, and then your ability to flow in Swahili is something that is unprecedented, and I hope and pray that these upcoming young ladies in Kenya will do the same, because we need to keep our culture, our uniqueness, and stop trying to copy against the Western world so that we can push our music and our agenda.
Yeah.
And hopefully, as a creative and as an artist, you'll be able to to push our agenda, and also we need to find a way that the music industry can play more Kenyan content. I'd say 70%, even 80%, because wale watu wengine wa nje are not playing. Yet our audience love their music and they want that music to be played, but those taps don't play our music. Our studio, we do not play music from outside except East Africa, and that's just a policy that we have. Some people don't like it, but for us, we want to push the Kenyan agenda first, and then the East African agenda. And so that's why people like you, for us, are important. Having you come into the studio is very important. I'm so sad that I missed it. I've missed a couple of the interviews face to face. Lakini we'll continue to collabo. We'll get to see each other face to face. Na asante sana. With that said, to our audience, our wasikilizaji, asanteni sana. We get to meet next week tena and do this all over again. Don't forget to go out, purchase the tickets for Nadia's show. That's Kesho in not Silver Spring, but it's in Wheaton, Hakuna Matata. The link is actually on our page. We've pinned it in there. Louise is pushing this, and as Nadia has told you, she has a heck of a show that's ready for you people. So y'all go out, get the tickets, enjoy, and get to listen to mashairi ambazo ziko na mdalasi. I'll see you. Back to you, studio.
For me, this was such a great time to be in the studio. Ali did call me. He was like, "Are you coming to the studio?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm coming." And when he said you're coming, I was like, "Oh, so my homework is paid off." Like, I did a little homework.
Yeah.
It was really great to meet you.
Thank you
and
so
just
much.
to know that it's great you're talented in music, but there's just so much more to you.
Thank you.
You're always prepared, and you're taking music as a real career. Like I would plan my career, just exactly what you're doing. That's just very inspirational.
Thank
I
you.
really hope people can emulate that,
Thank you.
especially upcoming artists in Kenya, and just not only artists like music. It's any career. If you can listen, that you need to have a plan. You need to be purposeful about what you're doing, not just waking up and be like, "Hey, today I'm inspired to do this," and without a plan before or after.
Yeah.
The other thing is with you talking about the challenges very unique challenges women face in the music industry. It's something that I know, like it's really hard for women to become managers or whatever in other industries.
Yeah.
But just knowing that it's a shared thing women have,
Yeah.
and something we need to work hard to
Navigate.
Yeah, to navigate. Not only navigate, but to just like take, like if we can just flatten that curve out,
Yeah.
or that bump in the road that people have to value us on. Will you get married? Will you have children? And what that means to your career. I mean, it doesn't mean anything. I can continue with my career regardless.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to know that there's a shared thing we have. It's something we can work towards abolishing that. I'm really happy to meet you. I'm glad I did my homework. Last weekend I was caught in the headlights, but I'm so glad I did my homework and I met you today.
Thank you so much.
All right, Nadia,
Yes.
your parting shot.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you so much, you guys, for having me. I really feel blessed. I think this has been an amazing interview.
Oh,
Very insightful, very
It better.
engaging. Very engaging. I don't like going to interview like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Tell us about Maombi,
Yes.
because I always believe
Water
I have,
is wet.
Yeah.
We don't do water is wet,
Yeah.
grass is green.
And the grass is green, and the
notice
sun
that
is
one?
the sun
Yeah.
is hot.
We don't.
So
we don't do
I think in my other life I would have become a lawyer because I like engaging. I like to talk a lot. I like to share my opinion and what I think.
that. And you've been
so-
sued also.
Yeah,
You're an accountant.
So this has been engaging. I really loved it. Most of all, to the people here in DC, thank you for tuning in. I'm sure mngekuwa mahali pengine, but you chose to be here, so it's really humbling to me. And please go and support my music, go stream my music, and make sure you turn up tomorrow. Pale, we're gonna get it going. Please show up, yani show out. Let's have an amazing time as Kenyans. And when you support me, I'm representing the country and I'm making you proud. And of course, I won't disappoint you. Most of all, pray for me as well. And I love you guys so much. My tour here in the US has been amazing, and I can't wait to meet you all tomorrow. God bless you. Have a good night.
Okay, asante sana Nadia, and thank you so much to all those people who were tuned in. Asanteni sana. But remember, kesho starting from 9 p.m. all roads lead to Hakuna Matata Grill. Mbogia Baltimore tunawangoja, wanaotafuta gari, wanaotafuta matatu, wanaotafuta tuktuk, hata wanaotafuta nduthi zitapatikana. So nyote njooni, you know, Timberlands accepted, Tusker t-shirts accepted, hizo zote accepted. Njooni nyote, come on, come on. No, I'm just saying, you know,
Satan.
Yeah, but unajua Mbogia Baltimore ikikam, place tayari imejaa, which is a very good thing. Thank you again so much, Nadia, for coming in, and we appreciate your time. Na kwa wale ambao bado wanaotaka kunipigia mimi simu, nambari yangu bado ni ile 1-800 mteule, na operator akishika simu mwambie unataka kusema na mjukuu, na akikuuliza ni mjukuu yupi, mkumbushe ni mjukuu yule wa Masai, because I'm Kenyan by birth, American by design, Masai by choice. Sichagui, sikagui na sibagui. Kwaherini.
You know, sometimes you wanna manage my challenges, but anyway, Nadia_Mukami Instagram, Nadia Mukami _ Twitter, Spotify, all channels of music, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, zote. Get in there, register, manage my challenges. Let the streams on Boomplay go to 20 million. Aiden, Daddy loves you. Jerry, Daddy loves you. Nimo, Daddy loves you. Until next week, be blessed.
Na DJ Tucha anasema shots za Arsenal not accepted. Utacha uchokozi bana we Tucha.
Kwenda huko Tucha, Satan.